Hello and welcome to the 10-Minute Mind, your new space for mastering the best ideas from the world's most powerful books, all in about 10 minutes. For our very first video, we're tackling a giant, Atomic Habits by James Clear. You've probably heard of it, but let's be honest, how many of us have actually used its lessons to change our lives? We're not just going to summarize the book. We are going to deconstruct the 3 most powerful, actionable strategies that you can apply. Starting today. Let's get started. Our first core lesson from Atomic Habits is a radical idea. Forget goals. Focus on systems. Now this sounds counterintuitive, so let's start with a powerful, real-world story. For nearly 100 years, the British cycling team was mediocre. They had won only a single gold medal in the Olympic Games and never won the Tour de France. But in 2003, they hired a new performance director named Dave Brailsford. His strategy was simple: the aggregation of marginal gains. Brailsford didn't focus on the goal of winning the Tour de France. He focused on the system of improving every single tiny thing by just 1%. They found 1% improvements in places no one else was looking. They redesigned bicycle seats to be more comfortable. They rubbed alcohol on the tires for better grip. They even tested different massage gels for muscle recovery. And they taught the riders the best way to wash their hands to avoid getting sick. They even brought their own pillows to hotels, ensuring a 1% improvement in sleep quality. The results were not immediate, but they were inevitable. Just 5 years later, at the 2008 Beijing Olympics, the British team dominated, winning 60% of the available gold medals. Then, they won the Tour de France, multiple times. So, what's the point of this story? The British cyclists always had the goal to win. So did every other team. Their goal was not the problem. Their success came only when they ignored the goal and focused entirely on their system of tiny daily improvements. This brings us to the single most important quote from the entire book. As James Clear writes, and I quote, "You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems." Let's let that sink in for a moment. What does this really mean? It means your ambition is useless if your daily habits don't support it. We all want to be winners, but winners and losers often have the exact same goals. The difference is their system. So, does this mean goals are useless? No, not at all. Goals are good for setting a direction, but systems are best for making progress. A goal is a single event, a finish line. A system is the entire process you follow every single day. So, here is your scannable, actionable lesson from this. Stop worrying about the finish line. Fall in love with the process. Instead of, "My goal is to write a novel," your system is, "I will sit at my desk and write 100 words every single day at 8 a.m. Instead of, "My goal is to lose 20 pounds," your system is, "I will put my running shoes next to my bed and walk for 15 minutes every morning." The goal is just a direction. The system is what actually moves you forward. That is the power of focusing on systems. Our second core lesson is perhaps the most famous one. The 1% rule, or the power of tiny gains. It's so easy for us, as human beings, to overestimate the importance of one defining moment, and underestimate the value of making small improvements every single day. Clear's central argument is built on simple, powerful math. If you get just 1% better at something each day, after 1 year, you will be nearly 37 times better than when you started. This is compound interest, but for your life, for your skills, for your habits. But the reverse is also true. A 1% decline every day, a single bad habit, a tiny bit of wasted time, brings you down to nearly zero. Think about it. A single salad won't make you healthy, but a system of eating healthy every day will. A single heroic workout won't make you fit, but a system of never missing a workout will. So the lesson is this: don't look for a massive one-time transformation. Just ask yourself, how can I be 1% better today? One more push-up, one more page of a book, one more minute of meditation. That is all it takes to start. Okay, so we have our systems, and we're aiming for 1% gains. But how do we start when we feel lazy and overwhelmed? This brings us to lesson 3. You must make it easy. Human beings are wired to follow the law of least effort. We naturally gravitate towards the option that requires the least amount of work. We can, and we must, use this to our advantage. If you want to build a new habit, you must make it as easy as possible to start. Clear calls this decreasing the friction. Want to go for a run in the morning? Don't just set an alarm. The night before, lay out your running shoes, your clothes, and your headphones. When you wake up, the friction of getting started is almost zero. The opposite is also true. To break a bad habit, increase the friction. Want to watch less TV? Unplug it. Take the batteries out of the remote and put them in another room. When it takes that much effort, your brain will just say, never mind. But my favorite, most practical version of this lesson is what Clear calls the 2-minute rule. It states, when you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. Think of it as a gateway habit. Read before bed becomes read 1 page. Study for my exam becomes open my textbook. Run 3 miles becomes put on my running shoes. The point is not to do everything at once. The point is to master the art of showing up. A habit must be established before it can be improved. Make it so easy you can't say no. So, let's review the 3 pillars of atomic habits we covered today. First, forget your goals. Fall in love with your systems. Second, embrace the 1% rule. Tiny daily gains are the secret to massive long-term change. And third, make it easy. Reduce friction and use the 2-minute rule to master the art of just showing up. The power of atomic habits isn't in one massive change. It's in the small, consistent choices that compound over time, until they become inevitable. Thank you for spending your valuable time with us at the 10-Minute Mind. If you found this valuable, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. It's a tiny 1% action that helps our new channel grow. Our next video will be on The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Now go and be 1% better than you were yesterday.